frankly, we good diversity tonight, and I think this one is one that people are going to like. But Davis, over to you. You are now unmuted. If you could share your screen.
How do I do that? Sorry. I can't find how to
Take your mouse down to the bottom of the screen, and there's a little green button that says share.
Oh, yes. Sorry for the delay.
No problem.
So if everyone can see that, so hello. My name is Davis, and I'm going to be talking about my project, how I visited every single street in central London on my bike. So I come from a small Eastern European country. I moved to London 7 years ago. I'm a computer programmer who loves cycling, walking, maps, and visiting different places. And I live in Southeast London and work in Central London. So I have to get there somehow, and my preferred method is bicycle. So I have to cross River Thames on my bike every single day, and the shortest way is about something like this. But if I take that same route every single day, I get a bit bored. So sometimes I can take another route, or there are plenty of bridges. I can take plenty of different routes to get to the office. And while I was doing that, I was thinking, I would like to mark them down somehow. How can I mark all the roads that I'm taking down? And usually how people mark things on the map, there are popular ways like scratch maps, where people mark the countries when they collect all the countries where they have visited on their holidays. Or there are online services. For example, this is a map of all the European countries that I have visited, and you can just mark them all. And for me, I thought a good way how to mark all the streets that I have visited on central London would be just to purchase a to Z superscale map and just color them in with a Sharpie. So this is the area that the superscale map covers, and I use Sharpie and just started coloring in on my way to work. Just while I'm commuting, I just marked that. And while I was doing that, I found the process of coloring in these streets like very entertaining for myself. I got kind of addicted to that. I just wanted to color more and more of those streets because I became kind of completionist. So I used Endomundo, just a fitness app, because it was easier to use, and they had a cross-platform support, so I can use on multiple devices, and I can also export all the data, but I can use later in some other method. So just the way how to collect all the data was using Endomundo, just a fitness app. I had this physical map, and while I was coloring in the streets, when I was approximately halfway done, the map looked like that, and I realized that actually I can do that all. I can visit every single street on this rectangular shaped map, and it became like my mission. And I wasn't doing that religiously. I was just doing that occasionally if the weather is good and if I had a good mood. But while it took me about 5 years to complete the map completely. So I was able just to visit every single street. So with my Sharpie, I marked every single street on this A to Z superscale map. And here I'm proudly showing off my map to Latvian national television because they were really interested in that project. And but I wanted to do something with the data that I collected on Endomundo. So another thing was while I was doing that, there was so many things that I found in London but I never thought about before. I found Brompton Cemetery, what was a lovely place in southwest London, just a very soothing and calm place and very scenic place to visit. Alexander Street Estate, brutalist architecture. I never know about that place, but when I got there, I just was mesmerized by the shapes, and everything around Shoreditch, all the narrow streets, street art, everything. I enjoy that. Bermondsey, I think it's a lovely area near the close to the center, but it hasn't got the attention that it deserves. My favorite ways how to cycle in around London is using cycle superhighways, because they're kind of safe and I can get quickly around. And another very enjoyable ways how to get around is using canal paths or old railways. Less traffic, less motor traffic, more enjoyable ride. I just like quiet, nice and fast rides. So I had this data collected on Endomundo, and I wanted to do something with all of this digital information, because if I'm going to present my physical map, what is on behind me, it won't it won't look so interesting, because it just looks like map of London with all the streets in dark gray. So I used JavaScript. I wrote a small script of JavaScript that gave me ability to export all the JPX files, location data from Endomundo, and then I wrote another shell script that compressed everything in CSV file format, and I pulled everything into QGIS application that I knew nothing about it, but I found out that this application can't give me the results that I want. I wanted to somehow visualize all the routes that how I visited every single street. So the visualization happened in QGIS. I knew that, and I dug through multiple Medium articles, and there are plenty of resources online. And eventually I got the way how can I export all the maps and compressed into single video. So the complete result looked something like this. So this is a short GIF animation where I visit all the streets of London. So basically blacken them out. Yeah, it was quite satisfying for myself personally to watch and rewatch it again, and I knew that it can kind of get some attention on some media. So I just thought I should share it with someone. So I shared it with a Londonese journalist, and I sent them over, and they were quite interested. They published my story, and then I published it also on Reddit and Twitter, and there it went a little bit viral last autumn. And I was interviewed by BBC Radio 4 Today program, where usually politicians are talking, but then I was invited just like a random hobbyist. That was very exciting. And there were so many articles that was writing about me in the Latvian and UK and Irish press, and I got on the top page of Reddit, and BBC were talking about in their Instagram, and I was also published on Metro magazine, just because I did my hobby. Just doing the things that I like kind of excite other people, and I was very pleased that I was able to inspire some other people just by doing the things that I enjoyed. So overall, the summary was this simple project took me 5 years. I cycled around 1,600 kilometers, about 10,000 miles. It took me about 1,200 journeys. My 25-minute short commute to office ended up to 3 hours, just because I had to get to the far end of the map, and because there were some streets that I haven't visited yet, and I needed to get there. So that's why my route ended up to 2 hours, and it just brought me unlimited joy. It just was very meditative experience in the morning when there is fewer traffic, and I can just slowly and calmly just cycle alone and just enjoy my ride. So someone on the internet suggested me to just remove the map, and just put only the routes that I've taken. And when I tried to experiment with that and play around, it kind of created a mesmerizing experience that there is just a black screen, and just by visualizing my path that I've taken on London, it kind of revealed the London's grid. And I think it was most likely a very nice piece of art that I created just by cycling around. Yeah, it brought me joy, and hopefully for somebody else as well. I'm still playing around with QGIS and things that I can do with that app. I know that I can visualize a lot of things and routes, and I am still cycling, but I'm not visiting every single street anymore because it is way too time consuming and I'm run out of map space. But I'm trying to cycle some longer distances now. I even commute to office like for 3 hours. If it wouldn't be a lockdown, I would be out there cycling. But since I'm stuck in my room, I have to be here in this conference. And yeah, this is about few routes that I've taken lately, like expanding outside the just the very center of London. If you look carefully, you can see the shape of Thames. So yeah, and that's about it. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Thanks very much, Davis. That was amazing. Such passion and such beautiful maps. So I've got a couple of questions for you. If you started again, what would you do differently?
I think I tried to less visit this. I think I would start from outside in. I would go broader. I would try to reach farthest locations on my map and then just circle it down to the center, because I can always visit that. And I think I can do it within shorter period of time. It took me 5 years, but I believe I would be able to do it in 2 years if I would just really be committed to do this. And that would be like my core thing, just yeah. But I think I would prefer doing the same thing in some other city, because I saw it all over here.
And if you were going to do another city, which one would you choose?
That's an interesting question. I know that cycling in Amsterdam is very nice, and yeah, I would love to spend some more time in that city. Cycling in New York would be very interesting. But the rectangular shape would give me ability to quickly cover the whole area, and most likely I would do something similar in my hometown in Riga, where I grew up. So yeah, in Latvia.
We'll look forward to seeing the results of that when you finally move to another city. Okay, yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Ed, back to you.